morning, everybody. I know this is probably a little confusing because today I'm supposed to be uploading a new episode of Tales from the Table where I talk about my Dungeons and Dragons game that I'm currently in. But that video requires more time for filming and editing than I have honestly had to give. Today was kind of the first time I really had a breather, so I'm just going to switch things around for these last 2 weeks of February. Tales from the Table will probably be up next week. I'm giving you my monthly update this week. Yes, I know the month is only half over, but trust me, enough has happened in those 18 days to let you guys understand why I've been really silent and why that video didn't get made. And while I do it, we're having pizza for breakfast. Onion and sausage from Mr. Jim's. Really good. Okay. So, without even looking at my bullet journal, let me tell you guys what happened. So, as I think some of you have probably figured out by now, my grandfather has moved in with me and my mom. I've kind of been his primary caregiver. He hasn't needed much care, because the guy is 96, but he's in great shape for 96. He's pretty mobile. He can get around with minimal use of a walker or a cane. He needs 2 hearing aids and he needs 1 set of dentures and some reading glasses, but that's about it. The guy is in awesome shape. But the problem is, he used to be an architect. And when he sees something where there can be a home improvement project done, he conveniently forgets the fact that he's 96. So, on Sunday the 9th, the home improvement project was installing hooks into our garage wall so that we could sort our lawn equipment, most of which we're going to be giving away anyways. But you don't argue with the guy, he's too stubborn. The problem is that he needed to move one of our ladders to install a hook. While he was moving it, the ladder fell back on him. He slipped trying to move back, and he fell. We had to call the fire department to initially get him up as an emergency, assist up. But when he said that he couldn't walk, they were like, okay, we're taking him to the hospital. He goes to the ER. Come to find out, his femur is broken. Right nearby his hip. So, that requires surgery. And fortunately, our orthopedic surgeon in town could do the surgery. We didn't have to take him out of town, which is a relief because that was a possibility. So he's admitted to the hospital on Sunday night, goes in for surgery Monday afternoon. Tuesday, they kind of start working with physical therapy. Wednesday, they notice that he's losing a lot of blood somewhere, and he had a hematoma right at the surgery site because they had to put pins in the bone to hold that together. So they spend the whole day giving him 4 blood transfusions. We know how long that takes from personal experience. And I'm sorry, there are a lot of people texting me, and given the circumstances, I have to check and see what they say. So, sorry guys. Okay, hang on. Okay. Sorry about this. Okay. So, blood transfusions, they do a few days of physical therapy, but he needs more days of physical therapy. In fact, he needs 6 weeks of physical therapy at the minimum, which the hospital can't even do with extended care, which goes for 2 to 4 weeks. So we've had to put my grandfather in a nursing home temporarily. We're hoping that he comes home in 6 weeks. We might change facilities when he can at least sit in a wheelchair and sit in the car with low levels of discomfort. And the reason for this is we're not 100% comfortable with the facility. There are ups and downs. So we just wonder if the facility in the next town over, which was another option, would be better for him. We're going to try to make an appointment to see that soon. We couldn't in the last couple of days because the roads were closed. But this other place that we would take him does not have its own shuttle service. So the only way to get him there now would be to call for a non-emergency ambulance, which those are expensive. It's really expensive when your destination is an hour away. So, yeah, that's what's up. At this point, we're playing it by ear. If we can get rehabilitated to the point of being able to sit in a wheelchair and sit in the car with comfort, we'll just drive him there ourselves. But we're kind of starting to fall into a new stasis. Mom and I are visiting him 3 times a day. It's often just to make sure. Mornings are when it's roughest, and evenings is when he's the most tired. Afternoons he seems to be doing pretty good. But that's what's up. And that's why I didn't have time to make any videos or do any social media stuff, because this has been a moving target since Sunday last. Anyway, that's what's going on in my life, and that's why it's stressful. Let me see what I can tell you, what else I can tell you that I actually managed to write down in my bullet journal, because I haven't been doing that since Papa got hurt, so. There was a period of time where I got pretty lackadaisical with this, so, honestly, not much else has happened, but the one thing that has happened has been kind of a big-ass deal. Needless to say, I'm exhausted. Sorry, I don't want to show food. Last night was the first time I slept without worrying all the damn time about my grandfather. This has been so stressful that I'm starting to look into going back to counseling. I used to have a counselor after my parents got divorced. I think I need to just go back and just have a conversation with somebody about some things that I've suspected for a while, but I'm also not a licensed therapist, so I don't want to self-diagnose myself. That's a bad idea. And basically we just want to survive at this point. We might be falling into a new stasis now, but that could change at the drop of a hat. So, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to film as many videos, hopefully in just the next 6 weeks, as I can. And basically, I'm just going to try to survive and help my mom and my grandfather in any way I can. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Being a family caregiver at 25 when you have no training for things like these situations, that gets to you. I know a lot of family does caregiving for their elder relatives. Most people who do that are in their like 40s and 50s. It's really hard when you're 25. But family is family, and I gotta do what I gotta do. So, I've got some texts to answer, and I will hopefully see you guys next week with a new episode of Tales from the Table. Bye, guys.